If you actually want to go into a model of testing, XD also supports that. So just here I have this share icon, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this again. I'm just going to pop back out to my Finder, because in my EATSAP folder just here I've got this PNG file that's meant to be the icon for this particular application, and I'll drag that into that window like so. Okay, and then I'm going to make this a brand new link just here and allow commenting. So if I tap new link, what this will do, and I don't know, I haven't tested anything going upwards on this network just yet. So that's good. I'll copy the link to my clipboard and I'll go back out. That's why that's acting up, isn't it? Okay. And I'll just open Chrome and I'll very quickly get those windows down into the dock, create a new window, paste that link, and let that connect. Okay, so that's opening up in Chrome. There's the, it's gone to the artboard that I was at previously. Ideally, what I should have done is focused on the main artboard to start with, but I haven't wired this up for many routes out of here. But there's the icon that I dragged in, and then I can experience this in exactly the same way. You can see that I can scroll up and down here. I can test things out, so that arrow's not wired up. For example, here's the one that I drew. Here's the one out to the map, just there. And that means that people can actually test it. Yeah. We can give them all of the models that they need to test against. So show me how you would discover food at a fast food restaurant, for example. And then they can comment on how that journey works for them, because that's what this field here is for. Okay. Also, by the way, if you send someone the link to this, it's not a publicly discoverable link. You can see it's got a reasonable degree of encryption in the URL anyway. It's not the sort of thing you're going to come up, and none of those things are listed on Google, so you're not going to find it, or any other search engine for that matter. You're not going to find it accidentally. You would have to give someone the link in order for them to use it. Okay, so if you distribute that link, and you could bit link that, there's nothing to stop you doing that if you wanted to do that also. If you send that to them and they view it on a device that matches the profile of your work, yeah, so for example, iPhone 6 here, if I sent that to somebody who viewed it on an iPhone 6, it goes into full screen mode. It doesn't just do it, right, because otherwise that would be alarming for them as a user. They get a really big bubble that they have to dismiss before they continue that tells them how to get out of it. And basically you long press on the screen and it gives you the choice to either switch, because you might have several things for them to look at, switch out to another one, yeah, or to exit from there. But it's handy that it does that, and especially if you're testing across several different things and you have those inside of the same document. It means the same person, if they've got a phone and a tablet, they can actually test that out for themselves on both things and see it pretty much as close to the experience as they're likely to get. Okay, so I can test that from here, then I can add something as a comment here. So I'm not going to be very elaborate. I'm just going to put nice in there and hit that through. I'm commenting on my own work again, which is a little bit uncomfortable, but I can't exactly get one of you to come down, sign in and do it, to be fair. And you can see I've got a thread of comments here that I'll be able to see. This uses the Creative Cloud notification system. My notifications are turned off because I don't want to get any texts from my wife or anything while I'm in the middle of talking to you. Of course, that would be dreadfully unprofessional. I'm not saying it hasn't happened before, because it has. I've forgotten on more than one occasion. Fortunately, it's only been relatively R-rated stuff like bring wine, yeah, or something like that. Could have been worse. Or cat pictures of my cats. Anyway, so that's a really handy thing to do. You can, or shortly, very shortly, like imminently, you can actually add annotations at an object level as well. Yeah, so you can pin an annotation to a particular object or interaction. Okay, so you've got a way there, you can test that amongst a bunch of people, you can get their feedback straight away from there. You can see I've got the chance to resolve that and mark it as being resolved, which of course, if they refresh, they then got the choice. Well, it would refresh for them anyway and tell them, because of the Creative Cloud notification system, would tell them that the item's been resolved. And then they could have a look at that again and see if that then met their particular criteria. All you would then need to do from XD, okay, is to export the assets, which you can see there's a command here. It works in a very similar way to the way that it works in Illustrator, apart from it's indicative, right? In that if you have nothing selected, it will export you images of all of the artboards at the renditions that you want them for. If you have content on artboards selected, then it will export all of those pieces as discrete parts of content. Yeah, so it would take each group and export them as separate items, and you've got exactly the same renditions in XD, apart from the SVG part just at the moment. I don't think we switched that on yet, but the very fact that I said that means that it's coming. Oh, it is there now, so that's cool. Actually, thinking about it, I'll just remember that has been there a little while. So you can export all of that content from there, then your dev's got something to work to, they've got all the content and they do all of the stuff that they need to do as well. But as I indicated, everything in here works. This is actually built in HTML and CSS anyway. It's one of the things like Felix, Project Felix, which I'm showing later on today, built exactly the same way, right? So we're not compiling it in the way that we've done our apps historically. It is compiled, but essentially driven by HTML and CSS and JavaScript, which makes it super, super lightweight and very, very extensible. So that concludes with just under 3 minutes to go. That concludes your tour, your whip round tour of XD. If you haven't used it yet, I do hope that you'll give it a go. If you've got Creative Cloud, then you've already got XD. Unless you're in an enterprise environment and you have it switched off, if you're in an enterprise environment and your administrator hasn't allowed it, then go and tell them if you see value in it, which I'm sure you must do, really. I don't meet many people who don't. Then tell them what they could be saving and what you could be doing with it and get them to turn it on. And if they have a problem with that, if you're an enterprise customer, then get them to talk to your customer success manager